Hi, Shira7. Today I want to talk about a subject that I kind of got a question on earlier today, and it gave me inspiration for this video. Okay, so a lot of people are awakening and seeing truth and understanding a lot of things right now, but yet they are in a relationship or have family members that still attend church every week. And a lot of these people just go along and go to church because that's what they've grown up doing, and that's what pleases their mate, and that's what makes their family happy, right? But a lot of people are, you know, having an internal conflict with, you know, exploring other aspects of spirituality because the church has instilled fear into a lot of people and said that it's wrong to, look outside of religion and all that stuff. So then a lot of people don't want to offend their family members or their partner or spouse by, you know, um, indulging in other spiritual information. So they kind of keep it a secret. And first of all, if you respect their belief enough to continue to go with them to church and to sit through service and, support their decisions and their spirituality, I believe that you also deserve the same respect because although religion does, separate and cause conflict, spirituality doesn't. So if you, find a way to relate certain things to their beliefs, you can kind of juggle both. You can attend service and pick out the things, being said that, hold true to you. But then the other things that you've seen past and are beyond, you can just, totally not even really hear them, go for the person because you're supporting them. And sometimes if someone is super religious, they're not going to support you because they've been taught not to by religion. So sometimes you do have to keep your spirituality as a personal thing, because a lot of people will try to their hardest to suck you back into religion. And even though they mean well, it's not going to sit well with you. So it's kind of like communicating with someone who you don't want to offend. So basically, you can study all you want. You can do all the reading and extra research and getting new knowledge that most religions or the church has forbidden. You can do all of that on your own without offending anyone. They don't have to know about it. And, that's just your own personal space and time, and whatever you choose to do with it, that's what you do. Um, I did that. Okay, my mother was a very religious person, and she grew up in the church. And I would buy my books. I would, keep them out of her sight. I would study. I would learn. I didn't put it in her face. I learned all I could. And now, years later, I told her, I was like, I've always been into spirituality. I've been reading books since I was 11 years old on different subjects, and you just never knew about it because I kept it hidden from you because I knew how you would react and I didn't want to hurt your feelings. But I knew that my spiritual path involved more than religion. So she said, okay, well, I'm just glad you understand everything now, and I don't see anything wrong with what you're doing because a lot of it coincides with what I believe. Because she grew spiritually as well. She kind of got away from the church as well, but she's still religious, but she's not condemning everything that's not religion. So we both grew, but I did keep my spiritual path. I did not say, well, I didn't make a big deal out of it. There's certain times in life when you need to stand up and make a big deal about something, but that's not So if you are in a relationship and your wife or husband is an avid church member and they drag you along every Sunday, but you really are not into religion, just go for everything else, Go for the friendship, go for the social part of it, go for all the other stuff. But you can leave whatever they're trying to put in here, you can leave it behind. Personally, I've been to church since I've been awake, and I'm amazed. I just people watch. I see how religion affects people mentally. A lot of people say that religious fanatics is have a form of mental illness, because they're so avid on this subject that they're willing to die, you know kill, just put their whole life in danger for religious reasons. So I just like to people watch if I ever do have to go to church. And if someone asks me a question or says something that I really don't agree with, I'll just, I have an aunt that's a religious fanatic, and if you just say Jesus or God, she'll go off into like a 30-minute talk, and all you can do is and just be polite, because even though you're past that, spiritually, you have to let other people have their freedom as well. You're not going to convince or teach everybody. Some people are here to be those religious fanatics, so to be an example of what you no longer are. They're like, this was me, this is me now. And then you have the people that you look up to and want to be like spiritually in the future. So you have to have those representations of spirituality. Everyone is different. So just go ahead and indulge them. Go ahead and go to church if you're in that type of family. But you can do your own research on the side. I mean, do you know how many people have done that throughout history? The Catholic Church, members of the Catholic Church have done that. Sir Isaac Newton and so many other people have worked for the church, been involved in the church, and studied spirituality and occult knowledge and things on their own. And that's how they evolved, and mentally and spiritually. And the Catholic Church hires people to study on both sides, because you need both sides of knowledge. You can't just if you're brainwashed and they tell you not to learn something, that should be like a wake-up call when someone tells you to not learn something because it's evil. What the true definition of evil is ignorance. Now, if you're ignorant on a subject, then that causes hate, that causes distrust, because you don't know what the next person knows. So you're left out. You feel separated. You feel anxiety towards something. You feel fear towards something because you have no information on it. So if you just get the information, then you won't have anything to fear, because knowledge should not be feared. It should be taught. It should be known. It shouldn't be off limits to anyone. They gave slaves a Bible and told them to, and taught them how to read the Bible, but they didn't give them any other books, because the Bible and religion keeps you submissive. They keep you from wanting to learn anything. I do readings. A lot of people say, well, am I growing up in experiences? The religious people in the Bible say that readings and fortune telling is evil and da 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 da. Well, it depends on the person, and it also depends on the method, and it also depends on a lot of things. Like Jesus said, well, in the Bible, he says, one of you will betray me. That's fortune telling. That's telling of the future. And a lot of people do that in the Bible, but they just call it discernment or prophecy. If you're going to use different vocabulary, use it correctly. It's the same as flipping a coin. If you flip a coin, that's divination. Okay, so you really understand that if God gave people a gift, why would it be wrong or evil to use it? It is the person who's using the gift that determines if it's wrong or evil, It's just like money. If you have money, you can do good with it or you can do bad with it. It's just, do you trust the person? Do you understand the person? Do they come from a good place? Okay, there are some readers and people out there that will rip you off, by saying, oh, there's a curse on your family and I'm going to need $5,000 to remove it. I'm not that reader, okay? I just read what the cards say. That's it. I don't try to get no extra, okay? I read the oracle cards and the tarot cards. I'm not saying those people that make their money off of, ripping people off, that's who they are. There are scam artists in every occupation, in every field. There's scam artists in the church, okay? Your pastor is probably one of them. Why is he driving a Bentley? Why is he driving a Bentley if he's not ripping people off, okay? Look at the car you're driving. So if you try to understand what's really going on, okay, there's more pastors with helicopters and Bentleys and mansions than there are card readers. Okay, like seriously, how many card readers or people saying that they have gifts and spiritual discernment have a helicopter? I'm waiting. Okay, so I mean, and so many people, they do like to confirm what they're feeling inside. They like to understand what the stars and the universe and what's cosmic is about, because that's where everything is based from, the cosmos. I mean, so if you're going to church for the wrong reason, which is to, learn and be brainwashed and just doing it because you think it's going to cause drama in your home if you don't go to church, you're kind of cheating yourself. So unless you're going and you know what to leave out and what to accept, I wouldn't even tithe during church anymore. I wouldn't even tithe, because why am I giving a millionaire my money? Another thing to think about. Why am I giving someone who has everything all of my money? So, and a lot of people do it because of culture, and that's how we grew up, and that's what we do. We like to sing, we like to shout. That's fine. You can go to a club and do that. And if you still go to church, that's fine. But, even in the Bible and Revelations, it says people will stray from the church because it has been corrupted, and it has. When you have, like, I think if you watch Eddie Griffith, I forgot the name of that comedy special, but he talks about the church, and he says, when you walk into a church, you got to worry about people taking your money, trying to sexually harass you, and blah 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 blah. And that's so true. So there are those type of people everywhere. But in the church, I mean, how many news stories have to come out about sexual scandals and money scandals in the church for you to understand that the church is corrupt? It is a business. It is no longer a place for spirituality. Here is a place for spirituality. This is your temple, okay? Your body is your temple. This is your light. And if you're going into a church, if you're paying this man or woman, whoever is preaching to you, to tell you things that you should already understand internally, to brainwash you, to take your money, then you deserve getting your money taken, okay? Now, if you want someone to guide you spiritually, to give you information, to answer your questions that the pastor cannot answer, then that's when you come to someone who is spiritual versus religious, excuse me. And I think everything is perfect just the way it is. Everything happens for a reason. If you're questioning why you're still going to church, then maybe you need to explore that question and ask yourself, why am